What's up guys, it's Nick and I'm back with another NBA player prop analysis video. In today's video, I'm going to be giving you guys my 3 favorite props for the October 23rd 2-game slate. But before we get into the picks, let's start with a little recap from yesterday. We had some good wins, but we also had some tough losses. Jordan Poole cashed easily in the first half. He was taking shots exactly how he wanted to. He did end at 3 3-pointers made, I believe, but he got all 3 of those in the first half. John Collins and that Clippers game, it was really weird. The Clippers were losing by like 100 points to the Utah Jazz, but John Collins still finished with like 14 points. So like I said in my YouTube video yesterday, that line just didn't make sense to me. It felt wrong to be at 11.5 points for how long it was. Then Miles McBride was an ad later in the day. My ad 2 days ago was Shea 1.5 3-pointers and it didn't hit. I'm glad this ad turned out a little differently because he also cashed in the first half. Now, Jaylen Brown had 5 RA in his first 6 minutes in the first quarter. He had 7 at half, but ended with 10, and one of them was a last-second rebound in the last minute or so on a free throw. So he basically did nothing in the whole second half when it came to rebounds and assisting his teammates. Cade, we had to score 25 points, but he shot 8 for 24 and finished with 23 points. He took more shots than what he finished with in points. If a guy is taking 24 shots, especially a guy of Cade Cunningham's caliber, I will take 25 points every day of the week. Then Miles Turner scored early. He hit a 3 and had a real nice dunk early in the Bucks game. But just like Cade, he shot 4 for 12 and finished with just 11 points. And just to mention, it's his first time in a really long time not scoring more than 13 points when he does make 2 threes in a game. So I feel like we just had a little bit of an unlucky start to the NBA season for us, but no excuses at all. My read should have been a little better. I could have laid off the Jaylen Brown 11.5, 10.5 RA, but what can you do, right? It looked too good. You live and you learn. And like I said here, a 3-and-3 night, 50% is nowhere good enough for me and for you guys. So it really is not the start I was hoping for, but I do keep everything tracked on my spreadsheet because sometimes I don't have time to fully recap my NBA wins and losses, so I just try to keep them tracked so you guys can look at it whenever you want. But that's enough for the recap. Let's get right into my 3 favorite props for today's slate. All right, my first prop for today is in the Thunder Pacers game. It's my one prop in this game. I stared at all these guys for so long. I was looking at Benedict Mathurin's 17.5 points before it really got bumped everywhere because without Tyrese and Miles Turner, I really do expect him to score a lot. But 18.5, just expecting him to come out the gates dropping 20, I feel like is a little risky, you could say. When we do know Andrew Nembhard is going to be playing that main ball handler role with Tyrese Halliburton now and TJ McConnell. In his one game last year, he had 12 assists. And without Tyrese Halliburton last season, he had no trouble surpassing this 6.5 assist line when he gets the minutes. His one loss was when he only played 31 minutes in a game that went into overtime. So yeah, I don't even know if I've actually said it yet, but my first prop is Andrew Nembhard over 6.5 assists. It is bumped on almost every book, but you can still get it at Fanatics or maybe find a dejuicer like Shea 20 points or 25 points or whatever, or Pascal 15 points, Nembhard 10 points and 6 assists if you want. There's a bunch of different ways you could make this better odds, or if you want to just take 7.5, you can see he has surpassed 7.5 assists. At the same rate, he smashed 6.5. And without Tyrese Halliburton, you can see he averaged 13 potential assists. And that's without the game that he had 12 assists in. And RotoWire has Andrew Nembhard projected to play 33 minutes, leaning towards him playing even more. So we can bump this minutes up to 30 minutes. So if he has at least 10 potential assists in this game, you can see he's surpassed 6.5 assists and come close to surpassing 6.5 assists so many times. If you do want to take the alt line, this hit rate jumps up to almost 83% at 6. I'm taking it at 6.5 at -120 because in both regular season games versus OKC last year, he had 13 potential assists and 18 potential assists, and that's with Tyrese Halliburton, and that's with TJ McConnell. So you're telling me with both of those guys active, he still had 7 assists in both games versus OKC last year, and now they're both inactive, and he won't get 7 assists? I don't know. I just like our chances with Nembhard getting over 6.5 assists. This isn't too much of a hit rate play, but the hit rate isn't terrible either when you do want to look at the data from last season. I do think Aaron Nesmith could have a very sleeper scoring game because the Thunder did struggle at defending spot-up shooters where Nesmith scores 33% of his points, but he has struggled versus them in the past, even when he got the minutes. So that's ultimately why I decided to stay away from all the points props on the Pacers and just stick with the guy we know is going to have the main ball handler point guard role without TJ McConnell and Tyrese Halliburton. So my first prop that I locked in and sent out was Andrew Nembhard over 6.5 assists. My next 2 plays are both in the Nuggets-Warriors game, and the first one is my man Jimmy Butler to go over 17.5 points. You can see we got some good value on here. It's 18.5 on almost every book, which I do still like, but obviously getting that even number at 18. Jimmy Butler's not a huge three-point shooter. He can obviously make threes, but his main game is mid-range and getting to the bucket, so I feel like the chances of him ending on 18 are higher. And with the Warriors, it isn't a huge difference, but he could definitely end on 18 points, and that's why I locked it in early at 17.5. We saw in game 1 of this season, Jimmy Butler was way more aggressive than what he was last year. Steve Kerr basically said they need Jimmy Butler to score the ball, and that's exactly what he did. He shot 16 for 16 on free throws while still attempting 14 shots in the game. And like I said, he's not a big three-point shooter. He made 1 out of his 2 threes. So if Jimmy is getting to the paint that often and drawing a foul that often, he almost beat this 17.5 line in just free throws last game. And Jimmy Butler does score 26% of his points from free throws, where the Nuggets ranked 8th last year, but you can see with the Warriors versus top 10 teams at limiting free throws to their opponents, he still went over in 55% of games, averaging 18 points, and his season average with the Warriors was 18.1 points as well. So that's another reason why I did like it at 17.5 over 18.5, but he seems to end on 17 more than he does 18. But other than them being pretty good at limiting free throws, the Nuggets defense struggled in transition and versus spot-up shooters, where Jimmy Butler scores another 26% of his points. Then where I really think he'll thrive is in this isolation as the pick-and-roll ball handler, and the Nuggets defense last season wasn't good at defending the paint, where Jimmy Butler scores 73% of his points. And if we want to look at last season with the Warriors, he wasn't even on his real Jimmy Butler demon-type activity, but versus the Nuggets, he still scored 23 points and 19 points, taking a higher volume of shots, and making no less than 6 free throws in both games. And they are at home, they're not playing in Denver, which does have an effect on players. And if we go to RotoWire, Jimmy Butler is projected to play the most minutes out of the entire team. Another thing I want to touch on is Jimmy Butler's usage percentage in this first game of the season, 28.2. If we go to last season with the Warriors and look at his usage percentage, when it's even at 0.20, like, I'm going down here. When Jimmy Butler actually has the ball in his hands and is scoring the basketball, he's surpassed this 18.5, 17.5 line with ease. 84% hit rate on this 18.5 line, 88 on the 17.5. So if we see another game where Jimmy Butler has a usage percentage of anywhere from 20 to 27, 28%, I am confident our guy Jimmy Butler can score 18, 19 points. This usage percentage is what made me lock in this prop. So my second prop is Jimmy Butler over 17.5. You can take 18.5 points. That's why it's important to subscribe to my Winnable. You can do the $5 monthly and get all my props extra early, or you can just subscribe for free and eventually get all my props sent out for free as well. I'm never trying to steal money from you guys. That's why if you do subscribe to get my plays early, you're paying 16 cents a day for all my plays for the whole month. But for my third and final play, we are looking at the Nuggets side of the ball, and I'm going with Christian Braun over 4.5 rebounds. You can get this at even better odds than what I got it for. I got this negative 125 line last night or early this morning on FanDuel. You can get negative 115, negative 116, better odds on other books. But I really like this line because I think Christian Braun takes another leap this year and Russell Westbrook is gone. So the Nuggets are showing they have faith in Peyton Watson and Julian Strawther, but Christian Braun is guaranteed 30 plus minutes. So if we just look at games last season without Russell Westbrook, you can see he destroyed 4.5 rebounds in every single game. Now, if you want to say Aaron Gordon didn't play in all those, add Aaron Gordon in, hit rate is still really good. He had no trouble rebounding the ball with Aaron Gordon in. Maybe Aaron Gordon added some missed shots to Christian Braun's rebound total. And we all know the Warriors like to shoot threes. Steph Curry's on their team, Buddy Hield's on their team. When threes get shot, they tend to have longer rebounds, which gives guards / I guess you could say forwards like Christian Braun more opportunities to grab those rebounds than they normally would if they had to fight for him under the rim against 2, 3, 4 centers. So with Steph and Buddy Hield, two amazing three-point shooters, I'm hoping they put up a ton of shots, and the shots that they do miss can fall into Christian Braun's hands. Props Madness has similar players that play like Christian Braun from last season going over their rebounds line, besides Peyton Watson, who's his teammate. And then Michael Porter Jr. is also out. So most of these games we just saw when Russell Westbrook was out, but you can see Christian Braun is just a good rebounder. I genuinely think we don't really need to look at all these stats, and Christian Braun could still get 5 rebounds. He averaged 5.4 last season, and RotoWire has him projected to play 32 minutes, favoring him to go heavily over. So if we make sure he plays that 30-minute mark and go to all their games last year, he's averaging almost 6 rebounds per game and went over in 62% of the games last season. And in both games versus the Warriors last year that he did play, he had 6 rebounds and 7 rebounds with Michael Porter Jr., with Aaron Gordon, and with Russell Westbrook all on the floor. So unless he takes a big leap and is just scoring constantly and not rebounding the ball, I don't really see how he goes under 5 rebounds. And the Warriors last year were pretty bad at defending the paint, but really good at defending the restricted area where Christian Braun scores 60% of his points. So let's say he goes really hard to the rim and misses a layup or misses a floater and gets his own rebound once or twice this game. We're almost already halfway to this 5 rebounds line, which I could totally see happening. And in the Warriors' first game versus the Lakers, Austin Reeves had 5 rebounds, Luka Doncic had 12 rebounds, Rui only had 4, but you can see the guard / forward-ish, taller type guards have had no trouble getting rebounds versus the Warriors, even in their first game of the year. If Luka doesn't get 12 and Rui gets 1 more, all 3 of them smash that 4.5 line that we're getting for Christian Braun right now. So yeah, guys, this is my third and final prop. Christian Braun over 4.5 rebounds. So just to quickly recap, we got Andrew Nembhard over 6.5 assists. You can still get this at DraftKings. At the time I'm recording this video, early in the morning on Thursday. Jimmy Butler over 17.5 points. You can take 18.5 too. You saw I didn't really end on 18 as much as I originally thought, so that's on me. And then Christian Braun over 4.5 rebounds. So yeah, if you guys do enjoy these type of videos, make sure you subscribe to my YouTube. But then also, if you want to get my plays early, you can subscribe to my VIP or get all my picks for free just a little bit later. Because at the end of the day, I do really just want to see you guys cash with me. And then if you do cash and want to just support me in some way, you can subscribe for that $5 a month. Also made a new Discord that has like 1 person in it. So if you do just want to come and talk props with me, then make sure you join this Discord. I actually changed the name to Prop Fam so that it's not me, it's us. But I'll have to update that on my Winnable. If you guys did enjoy the video, make sure you leave a like and subscribe and comment down below how I can improve these videos. I want to make money. I want to help you guys make money. So yeah, guys, that's all I got for today. Peace out.